Well, good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to the first of this week's reviews. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. Thanks for joining me. We are in Greece today. We're in the Peloponnese Island group in Greece, and you're looking at KALAMATA Airport, Lima Golf Kilo Lima. This is a Payware scenery by MXI Design, and this is version 1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. The download is 1.4 gigs and it installs at 2.85 gigs. It's currently available from both Simmarket and ORBX. It's slightly cheaper at ORBX when you include the tax, but really there's not a lot on it. I'll give you the Simmarket price. There's €12.30, which equates to roughly $13.23 US, or £10.55 UK. And as ever, US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they do indeed include tax or VAT, which of course may vary depending on your location when you make your purchase. So here's the list of features. You've got up-to-date ground polygons and markings, high detailed modelled airport buildings with PBR textures, basic interior model of both terminals to give some depth, custom taxiway signs, animated flags, 3D passengers, custom vegetation. I should also mention that the military area at the other end has also been developed. As you can see, it lies in quite a nice situation here, quite a nice position. So as ever, let's give you some history. Kalamata International Airport, Lima Golf Kilo Lima, known locally as Captain Vasilis Konstantopoulos Airport, is a public military airport owned by the Greek state and operated by the Hellenic Civil Aviation Authority, or the HCAA. The airport is located in the city of Kalamata in the Peloponnese Island group in Greece. It receives regular flights during the summer months. In March 2013, Aegean Airlines opened a base at the airport. The airport is located between Kalamata and Messini, and west of the train tracks on the Pamisos River Plain. Runway runs from north to south from the highway to the north of the plain. The terminal lies to the east. The military has a base on the field with a Hellenic Air Force and an air training division to the west of the main runway, whose use is shared by both civilian and military operations. Kalamata International Airport was opened in 1959. Charter flights began to operate from the airport in 1986 and a new terminal was built in 1991. That same year, the Hellenic Civil Aviation Authority took over as operator of the airport, and in 2012 the airport was renamed after Vasilis C. Konstantopoulos, after the famous Greek shipping magnate and former captain and entrepreneur. Some 17 airlines operate into and out of Kalamata, including Aegean Airways, who have a base on the field, EasyJet, Eurowings, Lufthansa, Olympic Air and Ryanair. In 2018, the airport saw some 278,000 passengers pass through the airport, with over 2,600 aircraft movements. So this place has been around a little while. As you can see, a beautiful location with an approach over the sea. And if you guys check my channel, you'll see I released a short video where I make a landing into this airport and using this scenery. It's very nice. First impressions, is very nicely done. We've got the military area down here and the terminal area up here, and it just sits in a really nice location. Okay, so have a look. Let's have a look at the runway situation here. And before we turn the lighting down to look at the runways proper, just wanted to show you here you've got this arrestor cable, which obviously is used by the military, just in front of the runway threshold there. And here we are looking at the other end of the main runway. You can see there's arrestor cables also here. I think it's actually it's more of a net, it's a catch net really, but it exists at both ends of the main runway. Okay, so we've lowered the lighting and here we are looking down the main runway. I should mention this is runway 35 left, 17 right that we're looking at directly ahead. As you can see, there's a runway there on the right hand side which is actually now a taxiway. I don't think it's even used. It's lit as per a runway. although not fully lit as you can see here. But according to the charts, it's now used as taxiway alpha. Anyway, let's get to it. Kalamata operates a single runway, 35 left, 17 right, measuring at 8,868 feet, or 2,703 meters, and it's made from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 26 feet, or 8 meters, and is within the GMT UTC plus 3 hours time zone. Now, Greece does indeed observe daylight saving time, or DST, just like the UK does and much of Europe. And so currently the airport is 2 hours ahead of us in the UK. So we're looking down runway 35 left, 17 right. As I've said, this is the main runway in use. And it features medium intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system, and precision approach path indicators on the left side of the runway, you can see there. The airport features an instrument landing system or a localizer approach options. Both V and Z options are available with specific minimums for use when you're coming into land. There are also 2 VOR approach options and 2 TACAN approach options, which generally are used by the military. So as you can see, the lighting's okay here. There's a slight little mistake here where it looks like the lighting has been interrupted by the way the runway's been done, but it's really nothing really, it's a glitch. You've got everything you need. I've even got runway and identifier lights here too. Let's have a quick look at the other end, 17 right. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 17 right, the other end of the main runway, and it features medium intensity runway lighting and precision approach path indicators again on the left side of the runway. Approach options really only visual, but they also have a VOR approach option. No ILS or TACAN options here at all. And as I've said, you've got the other runway on the left side there, which is according to the charts is lit as per a runway, but it's now taxiway alpha. I don't think it's ever used as a runway as such. So no jetways or anything like that here at this airport, but as you can see, it lies in a beautiful location. This is the sunset view. Looks fantastic. Let's go back to the day and let's have a look at the main terminal area apron and explore this airport properly. Okay, we start with a couple of views on the ramp. Here you can see my Airbus A320 sitting on stand number 1, and you can see no jetways. There's the terminal, blast screens, all bits and pieces, very nicely modelled. The ramp looks really nice, to be honest, and yeah, no problem at all really. Just another view across the ramp showing you the other stands, and you can see how aircraft taxi in and position themselves. You've got various outbuildings, faithfully modelled on the airport as well. There you can see some more blast screens, and you can also see the taxiway that takes you out to taxiway alpha, which is this one here that's lit as a runway. And you've also got runway, the main runway 35 left, 17 right operating there. As you can see, nicely modelled, fits in very well with the entire scenery area. And another little view across the terminal. Again, some nice modelling here. Everything fits nicely, no foliage growing in the wrong place, and as you can see, it sits lovely on this nice plain amongst the mountains. Very pleasant indeed. So let's get a close-up look at the terminal and the ramp area. So there's the fence line and the blast screens, beautifully done. I like the blast screens, they've been done very well, to be honest. And you can see the wooded trees behind the fence line. Again, no foliage bleeding into the scenery at all. Plenty of fuel trucks. There's the fuel station, and you've got to get a couple of animated engineers there, and some nice buildings as well. Modelling is very, very pleasant here. First close-up look at the terminal, which looks nicely weathered, beautifully built. Okay, we've got baggage handlers there, and you've got the shutters that open up when they unload the baggage off the aircraft and they go into the terminal. Very nice indeed. And there's another view showing you the airport name written in Greek and in English. And some more mobile stairs, all nicely modelled with the correct signage on them too, which is good. And there you've got a baggage a drop on the left hand side. So obviously one is for baggage that's come off the aircraft and going in, and another one is baggage that comes out there that's checked in, put onto dollies and driven out to the aircraft. And just a quick look at this nice little building that's modelled out here. Very pleasant. Just a good example of some of the modelling that they've done here, really nice. And there's an overview of the ramp. Here you've got this road outside here and the fence line going across, and there's some emergency airfield gates. I think this is where you would bring the fire service from outside, or emergency access to the apron. And here you've got what we would call a balancing pond. You've got this little sort of river thing going outside by the airport there. Again, the brick walls are nicely modelled with the taxiway going over the top. Quick look at the taxiway signage. There you've got the runway demarcation 35 right, 17 left, but it's actually taxiway alpha, which is this one here, which is used as the taxiway. And there we go, just to confirm, look, you've got this runway which is marked as 35 right, 17 left, but there you can see it's also shown as taxiway alpha, and this is Charlie that goes into the ramp. Okay, part of the military area. There's another military area further up by the threshold of 17 right. As you can see, some nice helicopters. The whole thing's been modelled really nicely. And just a close-up look at one of these helicopters. As you can see, modelling is really good. Really, really good. And another one there. Very, very good indeed. Even the concrete looks very realistic too. Couple of the hangars here, no internal development, but outside they look perfectly good. Very, very nice indeed. Some more helicopters and some military vehicles. Very nice models, very nice, no complaints really at all. And a couple more trucks there down the side of the hangar. And looking towards airside over the military base we just looked at, there you can see it's quite a nice view. The only little problems here is you've still got little aircraft here in the photo scenery which haven't been removed or covered over. But again, it's just a little, nothing really, it's just nitpicking, something you would see only if you were looking for it. Okay, so here's the landside part of the main terminal, and I've changed the time of day to the early morning. It's around about 7:30 in the morning, just so the sun shines and you can see the light directly on the terminal, otherwise it would look pretty dark. So we've got animated flags of various types, vehicles. Again, the area here has been nicely 3D modelled, nothing been left of photo scenery. All the cars, parking areas are properly demarked. Buses, very, very nice indeed, and they're the correct type and colour. They've got KALAMATA written on them as well. And as you can see, I mean, the whole thing looks really nice. Okay, this is Landside, not really of interest to many of the pilots, but in terms of scenery development and what can be produced inside the simulator, this is what you get, and this is what it's all about to a great extent. Realistic modelling makes the place look real. Very impressed. Nice Greek police car there, signage in Greek, eminently readable. And the airport sign in Greek as well on the outside. Okay, so let's have a little close look at the landside area here. We've got plenty of activity, and I mean, the whole thing looks great. Nice to see some cars and things sitting there. Baggage trolleys. 3D people look really good actually, very impressive. Looks good from the outside there. And this is what it's all about. You know, the airport has some atmosphere and ambience, it's vibrant, there are people there, and just looks good, looks really good. Very nice, signs are good too. The road signs and road markings are good as well. I mean, everything has just been nicely done. And just a little trick from this side here going towards the fuel farm and the airside fence. There you can see emergency access gates for the fuel farm going into there, and the police compound. It all looks very realistic, beautifully modelled. And again, foliage been nicely placed, there's no interruption, some good detail and some good weathering. And there's the boundary fence as well. So here's our first look inside the terminal landside. There you can see check-in desks, people lining up, and again, it's great to have these people stood around. It just gives it some atmosphere. And as you can see, signage up close is very crisp and clear. The check-in desks all look great. Just a pity we don't have any check-in staff models behind the desks. There's a nice little touch for the developers. You've got the computer screens that work behind the desk and they've got their own logo on it. Very nice. Well done, guys. And just a little view there, looking out through the glass towards the landside. That looks pretty good actually. And there you go, something I know quite a lot about. There's your security check with your X-ray machines and archways going through to the airside departure lounge. And just a little seating area to the left there with a nice image of the beach and the Hertz rent-a-car. Everything's nice and crisp and clear, nothing's blurred or sort of hard to see. Everything right down to the tensor barriers here, look, where you've got the airport name, Captain Vasilis Konstantopoulos. His name's on it. It's all readable and crisp. It's very nicely done. Not entirely sure what this is. Maybe it's an exit point from airside, but I don't see any controls as such. And just finally, again, a look out through the glass to landside. You've got this very nice effect. Very, very pleasant. Okay, so here we are airside, and this is the baggage reclaim area when you're coming in. And again, quite a significant amount of space there for people to sort of sit and wait for their bags and looking out to airside. And as you look through the glass straight ahead there, you can see the airside departure lounge on the other side of the glass barrier. And here it is, the airside departure point. There's the security there. And there we are looking out towards airside. Very nicely done. No, nothing fancy. It's just been very, very nicely done. And a last look over the ramp there, which looks really good. So just looking at the main runway, 35 left, 17 right, there's taxiway Echo below us, and there you can see the grooving effect on the runway. That looks really impressive, to be honest, and you've got additional parking there to the other side of the runway with helicopter pads as well. We've got more military helicopters and vehicles, plus some civilian aircraft there, and various vehicles and cars, and more sort of off-airport bits and pieces. It looks really good. There's the VOR station, literally halfway up the runway on the western side. There's the control tower, very, very pleasant, nicely done. And here we are up by the 17 right threshold here, where you've got one or two military bits and pieces and some civilian hangars as well. I actually thought this was a military end, but I don't think it is. You've got various open hangars there. I'm pretty sure this is sort of more GA. Possibly these are trainers. So this is the air training division that we were talking about in the description of the history. And it's all been nicely modelled. Hangars, the detail looks lovely. It's just a nice little airport. Okay, so let's turn the lighting down to dusk and have a look. Okay, just after 7:45 in the evening, the sun is setting and the lighting has just come on the parking area, and we'll have a look. As you can see, the setting is beautiful. I love the way the sun goes down on the mountains. There you've got the military area to the left, and you've got the additional parking stands on the northern, the western side there, and some nice lighting too. And they're looking up to the training area up by the threshold of 17 right. There's some lighting up there as well. Let's get down to the ramp and have a close look at what we see. Okay, good it's good lighting here on the ramp, actually provided by the correct source. No Asobo globes floating around. And you've got the down lighting there above the on the top of the building. And then looking across the ramp from airside, you can see the lighting's quite adequate, even in this sort of dusk light. It looks pretty impressive actually. Blue airfield edge lights there you can see, which will help you taxi in, and generally the lighting looks pretty good around here. There's the landside part of the terminal. It looks quite impressive really, no problem at all. The lighting's really quite good. Can't see any globes floating around, but yeah, it looks really impressive. So let's whip it down to night time. So 10 PM local time, as you can see the sun is pretty much gone now, and there's the landside lighting, which looks quite impressive to be honest. And there's a view looking out towards the main highway, and once again the airside area, the main ramp, front of the terminal, everything really well lit, so once you taxi in it's not really going to be a problem at all. And there's a little overview showing you taxiway Alpha, which is surrounded by blue airfield edge lights here. Here's the main runway, 35 left, 17 right, and here's the taxiway Charlie that takes you into the main ramp, which is really well lit. So a quick view from the flight deck at night time. This is the captain's side, and looking across the first officer's seat. Very nice indeed. So a quick close-up look into the terminal from airside. You can see through the glass, and it all looks pretty impressive. And a quick look from inside. Very, very nice indeed. So let's bring the dawn up very quickly. So 5:15 in the morning, and the dawn is beginning to come up. And they're looking out towards the main road, and that's where the sun will rise over the mountains there. Okay, 6:15 in the morning, and time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. This is a really nice scenery. Is it worth the price? Yeah, I think it is actually. €12, just under €13, just over $13, just over a tenner. There's quite a lot been done when you think about the work that goes in to producing the bits and pieces that are needed. Bit of terraforming here and there to make the scenery fit properly with the default. And they've still worked on some of the buildings outside the airport area, like here and here. And also done some work developing the air training school division up at this end of the runway. And inside the terminal, okay, it's fairly basic, but it's been done. Landside looks very realistic, and of course the ramp has everything you need as a pilot. The work that's gone in, I mean, a tenner is pretty cheap when you consider it. This airport's got everything you need. It's a beautiful location, very nice place to land during the early morning or during the dusk hours. Looks really, really pleasant, and yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's worth the price. It's another classically designed, really nice airport. Couple of good options, because you can get it from Simmarket or you can get it from ORBX. So those of you who are supporters of ORBX, you can actually buy this from there as well. I like the way it's been done, the way it's been modelled, the weathering, and all of the little bits and pieces that have been added to make it sort of very ambient. It's very nice indeed, and realistically, no hesitation in recommending it. So there you go, folks. This is Lee, a Virtual Airline Pilot. I'm wrapping up another quick review. Hopefully this hasn't been anywhere near as long as some of the other ones. But it's a smaller airport, but no less important in my opinion, especially now summer's with us here in the Northern Hemisphere. Plenty of flights going into here. And I find myself wondering how this is going to look in Flight Simulator 2024. If you guys haven't seen the announcement, check out my quick video, which I produced some hours ago. The flight sim community was stunned by the announcement from Microsoft that Flight Simulator 2024 is going to be released next year. Check out the trailer in my video, and where I also answer a few questions that people have been asking since the video was released. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you're into the Greek islands, this is definitely worth the purchase. So I'll see you in the second review later this week. So guys, take care, thanks for joining me, and bye for now.